One of the most common things I run into as an instructor, and I've been doing this for a very long time, whether it be my online students, my pro students, my students that are just starting off, is pulling off of the ball. And as you know from the Pro Speed Baseball hitting system, we mechanically define everything we do. There's no mystery, everything's straightforward. We break everything down, so it's very simple to understand, but we also know exactly what we're looking at. So when we're talking about pulling off the ball, we know we're looking at our lead shoulder, and that's when the lead shoulder is working behind the head as we're going in impact versus staying on the ball. Staying on the ball would be the lead shoulder staying in front of the head until the bat's parallel to the ground. Now, that's a little bit more of an advanced checkpoint. What I want to go over today is when you have a player who's just straight pulling off the ball that needs a hardcore just reconstruction on their swing in terms of getting the feel for how to swing without pulling off the ball. So what we do is we have a beautiful drill as part of the no chest drills in our pro speed hitting system that just completely takes away all rotation in the swing. It's the exact opposite. So as you know, what we like to do is if we have an issue in the swing, what we like to do is go to the exact opposite of the issue and work our way back from there. So if we try to make small corrections, let's just say my shoulders are wide open and I try to get smaller and smaller and smaller, that's a very difficult way to do it. What we're going to do is the exact opposite. We're going to go to the opposite of pulling on the ball. We're going to stay on the ball for as long as we can, and then we're going to work off from there. So what we're going to do to start eliminating pulling off the ball is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the lower half. As you can see here, I have my tee set up at a much lower height. That's because we're going to get down on our knees, and this is how we're going to cut off the lower half. This is going to make it near impossible to open up our hips because, as you know, again, from some biomechanics stuff we talk about in the pro speed hitting system, is we need our feet to be a little bit open so our hips can work. If our feet are out of the equation, my hips are going to be eliminated. So we're eliminating the ability to rotate the hips to a degree. Now, the upper body can still rotate, but this is what we're going to train. Pulling off the ball is mostly from over-rotating. So 90% of our rotation of the human body comes out of the middle of your spine, which is in your torso. Therefore, that's what we're going to train. That's what's pulling off the ball. We're over-rotating. We're rotating too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on our knees, and we're going to start off with no tee. And all we're going to do, choke up on our bat or use a lighter bat, put our hand on our chest, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our chest stays pointing in front of us at all times. So if there's a laser beam coming off our chest, it's going to be pointing directly in front of you at all times. So as you can see, I have a line here. My chest is pointing down that line at all times. And all I'm going to do here is just make an easy swing. Doesn't even have to be anything special. And I'm just going to just clip the tee without moving my chest. If this was incorrect, my chest would be twisting. I'd be allowing my chest to move. I want my chest to be like a statue and not move whatsoever. So I'm just going to make an easy swing. I'm not uppercutting this. Ideally, we're always sticking to either line drives or hard ground balls off the tee, even in this drill. And we're going to just allow that hand to roll over, back and forth without the chest moving whatsoever. Once we feel pretty comfortable with that, we're going to take a ball, put it on the tee. We're going to do the same exact thing, hand on the chest. Now, you'll be very surprised. A lot of times when we add the ball in, players want to rotate the chest. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we check ourselves on camera. We hold our finish and we make sure we check ourselves that our chest does not move at all. So ideally, we're not going to swing very hard at these because speed is going to carry us around into our rotation. So we want to eliminate a little bit of speed so we can take complete control of the chest. So as you can see there, chest may be moved a hair, but I still stayed in complete control of my chest throughout the entire swing. So once you get a good feel for that, and you can hit about 10 in a row where your chest doesn't move, what I want you to do is I want you to stand up, get your tee about mid-thigh height. So that's going to be about what we talked about in the perfect tee setup. So we got the tee about mid-thigh height. And now from there, I want you to take some easy swings where you feel like that chest stays on the camera or in front of you, straight in front of you at all times. So ideally, you're going to get in your low strat swing drill. We're going to take a very easy swing, and I'm going to feel as if my chest stays at the camera at all times. Now, here's a little bonus biomechanic thing. If your hands are together, so if I take a line and I draw it up through the center of my body and my hands are together, okay, if my hands go from one side of my body to the other side of my body, I have to rotate. With the one-handed drill, I don't have to rotate because my hands aren't together. If I add my hand to my other hand, I have to rotate. So you can see my chest is now pointing up the center of the field. So what we're doing with the no chest drill is we're developing the sensation of no rotation, but because I have hands together, we have no choice but to rotate. That's why we're never worried about rotation in the swing. because it's going to happen whether we like it to or not. So again, we're going to feel our chest stay in front of us at all times. We're going to check ourselves on camera, and we're going to make sure we keep that lead shoulder in front of the head for as long as we possibly can. So as you can see there from the slow motion playback, my chest is obviously rotating, but my feel is that it's staying pointing in front of me at all times. Now, one of the key things to be able to make sure that we are keeping our chest in front of us or feeling like it's in front of us is making sure that we're releasing the bat. And that's going to be a big, big piece of this. Well, I've got a great bonus for you. I'm going to play an all-access membership lesson, a preview of that lesson at the end of this video that's going to show you exactly how to do that. You can see that entire lesson by clicking on the iCard that pops up in the screen during the preview, or in the link in the description below. You can see that entire lesson absolutely free. It's going to show you exactly how to release the bat so you can stay on the ball. Let's go ahead and make sure you check that out, and we'll see you here in that lesson. The number one commonality among elite level hitters, the top of the top hitters, is they're getting maximum speed in the ball. They're getting that vicious release, and the bat is staying in the zone for the longest period of time. So not only are they getting that vicious speed the release gives you, they're also maximizing their room for air, so they become an absolute elite level hitter because there's so much room for air and the bat's moving at a high velocity. I'm going to show you a drill that's going to have you release the bat immediately. This cuts to the chase. This is my number one drill for learning the release because give you immediate feedback as to whether or not the bat is being released or not. If you can hit both tees and do those three things, you will have an elite level release, or at least